link to the latest global news. Go beyond borders in Arabic.
A second city that's determined to be first. This month, Richard Quest is in Chicago, where bigger is a badge of honor.
It's an identity of strong structures, industrial infrastructure.
And a forgotten river gets a makeover. We look at Chicago's architectural legacy and how it plans to set the tone for skylines around the world.
The architecture of a beautiful city. It's Chicago on the next Future Cities.
Thursday, only on CNN, in association with Solidaire.
Go beyond borders. This is CNN.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Errol Barnett at CNN Center. Here's what's making news globally right now. A Ukrainian court has found former Prime Minister Yulia Tymoshenko guilty of abuse of authority, sentencing her to 7 years in prison. Russia said the verdict could jeopardize a 2009 gas supply deal with Ukraine. That deal was at the center of her case. 3 men have surfaced on video in Turkey saying they are Syrian army defectors. The 3 said they made their decision because of the government's policy of mass arrests of civilians and the indiscriminate killing of civilians. And Liberians have been lining up to choose their next president. The incumbent, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, has tough competition, though, that includes former UN diplomat Winston Tubman and his running mate, football star George Weah. So far, all voting has been peaceful. Jury selection is underway in the trial of accused arms dealer Victor Bout. The former Russian army officer is accused of running the world's biggest private arms dealing network. He's pleaded not guilty to a wide array of charges, including conspiracy to kill Americans. And that's a check of the headlines for you. I'm Errol Barnett. Stay with CNN. Eye on Macedonia with Jim Clancy starts right now.
Welcome once again, and a big hello from Eye on Macedonia. I'm Jim Clancy, coming to you live from Skopje, the capital. And it was quite a day today. It's a revolutionary day here in Macedonia, a national holiday that marks the start of the Macedonian people's uprising that occurred during World War II against the Nazis. That was all the way back in 1941. For 70 years, there were all kinds of people out here in the square, Macedonia Square behind me today, enjoying the sunshine, listening to music, children playing. There was even a little train that was running around through this square. And right here in the Macedonian capital, there's also a small company I want to tell you about because it's making a big impression halfway around the world in Hollywood. A team of graphic designers is creating special effects in some major blockbusters. One even received an Emmy nomination. Atika Schubert finds out how the company is succeeding in what is one of the most competitive industries in the world.
From the shimmering horizons of the Golden Compass to the awe-inspiring robots of Transformers, these are just some of the Hollywood blockbusters that Macedonia's FX3X has had a hand in.
This is where all of the adding life to the characters happens.
CEO Christian Danilovsky had a Commodore 64 in the 80s, and in 1991 he saw this film, Terminator 2. Liquid magic images like this inspired him to try his hand at animations and visual effects.
The petrol tanker is hitting the robot, so then it will explode.
Today, Christian can count Terminator 4 in a long list of work. The company's motto, star quality without the star attitude.
For us, we take pride in our work, no matter how big or small. So we want to do it professionally in the highest possible quality within, the given budget and schedule. We're aware that, the stars are on the screen, not behind the screen.
This is the heart of operations for FX3X, and don't let its humble appearance fool you. This is where Hollywood magic is made, where the fantastic becomes real.
For Macedonia, FX3X is a model business, carving out a niche market with a small but talented workforce, delivering Hollywood effects at Macedonian prices, with a staff of about 150, many trained from scratch by Christian's team. FX3X may be small, but its impact is much bigger, says film professor Dian Iliev.
It's a company that in the past few years made a significant success and breakthrough in Hollywood. So it opened practically door for Macedonia.
Here, for example, we had to include a real car so the actor can interact with it.
FX3X is now sprinkling its movie magic at home, creating this transforming taxi for a local comedy film. With seamless scenes like this, FX3X has put Macedonia on the Hollywood map. Atika Schubert, CNN, Skopje.
All right, time for us to get some basic facts here about Macedonia's economy. When it gained independence all the way back in 1991, 20 years ago, Macedonia was the least developed of all the former Yugoslav republics. But for much of the past decade, Macedonia's economy had been growing at about 5% a year. And then last year, Macedonia's GDP grew less than 1%. Like a lot of Europe, it was flat. That's according to Eurostat. But this year, the IMF is projecting it's going to have a 3% growth rate, which looks strong compared to some of Europe's biggest economies. It's actually looking better than that. We'll tell you more about that later. But there's a problem spot. The IMF estimates the unemployment rate in this country is somewhere around 32.1%. Let's talk a little bit more about Macedonia's economy. I'm joined now by the head of advanced engineering for Johnson Controls, Willie Van Looy. His company is going to open a new plant in Macedonia that will create some 1,400 jobs. That's a very important number. Willie, great to have you with us here from Skopje. And you're a frequent visitor here, right?
Yes, I'm coming here several times already, yes.
Johnson Controls has another factory here as well, also in the automotive field. But this is a new, almost $20 million investment. Why Macedonia?
Well, there is the benefit of the country, of course. It's not that far away from the center of Europe. And they have some good competitiveness things which can bring us some benefit in relation to the costs. So we have to look at it.
The advantages, you're out there in what is known as a development zone in Skopje. What are the advantages for your company?
Well, for sure, the tax-free zone is very interesting. Further on, we have the textile industry down there, which was 20 years ago very big and which actually is now picking up again and where we can benefit from due that we have a textile plant as a manufacturing down there.
Now, it's probably true that at this point, Macedonia lags somewhat behind most of the other countries in Europe. That's also a cost advantage? That's a consideration?
That's a consideration for sure, yes.
Wages?
Wages.
Cost of living?
Cost of living. And as well, the logistics is, like I mentioned, not that far away from center of Europe, so it's a benefit.
Now, help me out with the economy here, because actually in the first 2 quarters of 2011, government officials are pointing to 5% growth rates. And we've seen many of the international groups that watch all of these numbers say, yes, it's doing very well, but most of it is probably tied to the project behind us, this massive construction project, Skopje 2014. Do you think they can maintain that? Do you think that this infusion of public funds is going to help gear up the economy?
Yeah, for sure, because also the government is working quite hard to bring that up to a good level and to bring up to a European level, let's say, as a standard. And I can imagine that they really work very hard to do that, yes.
One of the key problems that we brought out here, they've got an unemployment rate of more than 30%. I talked to some of the young people, and they tell me they're eager to find work. Are you finding the workers you need here?
Yeah. We had, let's say, a few weeks ago already the first advertisements down in the papers, etc., and we got about 1,000 people coming to these advertisements to join Johnson Controls. So I think that's quite interesting.
Now, Johnson Controls, you make car seats.
That's right.
But what do you call it? You have a great name for it.
Automotive industry?
Well, no, I think, what do you call it? Interior comfort design or something like that.
Interior experience, yes.
Yeah, exactly, the interior experience. And there's a whole experience that comes with a company that comes into a place like this. What do you have to know about a country when you invest in it, when you want to engage with the people that live here?
Well, for sure, if the people are open, if the people are, let's say, multilingual, can be a benefit for us as well. And if they are eager to learn, and for sure the Macedonian people are doing that.
As you look at things in the future, how things are going to change, there's a lot of gloom and doom out there in Europe right now. Johnson Controls seems to be bucking that a little bit with this investment.
Yeah, that's right. There is some European support over here, the European Union support, I mean, and they are backing up with that And actually the government is picking in on that. So we have a very flat organization. You can very quick and very easy work with them. So I think that's a big benefit.
Well, welcome back to Macedonia. How many trips have you made here?
Oh, about 10 times I was here now.
10 times,
yes.
Back again. It was a beautiful day.
Thank you very
Willy
much.
van Looy, thank you very much for being with us. Appreciate you from all the team on Eye on Macedonia. Now, we're live from Skopje, and when Eye on Macedonia returns, we're watching